welcome to a brand new season of ET Now Hangouts. I'm Ankita Saxena, and in this season, we get you the best from the startup ecosystem, where startup founders talk about their journey, how they're building their brands, and their growth plans ahead. We will also have investors and venture capitalists who will shed some light on the investment ecosystem, the hottest startup verticals, how can founders make better pitches, and what are they looking for in startups before investing. Well, in today's episode, we are speaking to Nirraj Manek, who's the co-founder of Sbooch Kambucha, a new age, all-natural, zero artificial flavors kombucha. Well, launched just 6 months ago, Sbooch has already become the first ever Indian kombucha brand to win the Best Kombucha Award at the London Beer Awards 2025. Well, we'll talk to the founder about what's exciting them about the Indian market and what are the challenges. Hi Nirraj, thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us on ET Now Hangouts Season 2.
Thank you, Ankita.
So Nirraj, firstly, congratulations. Sbooch has won the first ever Indian kombucha brand to have won the Best Kombucha at London Beer Awards 2025. What makes you think that Sbooch stood out as a winner? What was the USP?
So, first of all, thank you, Ankita, for inviting me over. It's a pleasure to be part of Hangout Season 2. Yes, coming to your question about Sbooch and London Beer Awards, it was a surprising factor for us. We've just launched our brand 6 months back. Yeah. And it's a proud feeling to say that Sbooch is already making some mark and some buzz, not just in India, but across the globe. It's truly a proud feeling. I mean, I see that kombucha has been the term or the word which has been floating around since last few years now. Having said that, more than 99% of the population of India has not even heard about it, forget drinking. Right. So we are making some mark. We are trying to become trying to enter into the market with some initial first mover advantage. Yeah. Primary reason why I feel, so there are 3 parameters why we have won this award. I'll just quickly give you some 3 insights on what are these 3 parameters. One was quality, which says about the product. One was value, which says about how it is priced. And third, and the most important thing, was packaging. Okay. The beauty of this award, which is globally renowned for, is the transparency and the blind tasting it goes. So we've been sending 3 different for the same flavor. Yeah. And there are panels for 3 different parameters. There are 3 set of panels, which does this judging based on blind tasting. Right. And out of which, I'm proud to say, they rank out of 100. And Sbooch is across the globe, across tons of entries, has won 2 awards for Rasam and 1 for Koshimir, which is a salad in a bottle. And that's the 2 flavors which we have won. For Rasam, we have won the Gold Award, where we have scored 97 out of 100. And for it was also awarded as the Kombucha of the Year 2025, which is a proud feeling for us and for India at large. And Koshimir, yes, we won the Silver Award. So we are proud that out of the 3 entries we were able to send, we won 2.
Right, very interesting, especially the flavors that you mentioned. We will talk about that also. But you also mentioned a very interesting data point there. I will come to that also. But let's start from the start. Now, you've had a background as a brand strategist, in investment banking, in different sectors, if you will. How did you come up with this idea of coming out with a kombucha brand?
Interesting. So that was a journey. Yes, I started my journey with 14 years into corporate, where I was heading the brand strategy and sales for multiple brands from Citi to H&R Block to LXL of the world. Having said that, I was also into investment banking for around 7 years with HDFC, Edelweiss of the world. One fine day, I decided I want to move on to an entrepreneurship, which every Indian would love to have. It was like almost 7 years back. That's when the first time I ventured out into a kids space and hospitality, where we have the Bombay's largest kids play area. We also have a preschool and a daycare. If you have heard about a fine dine restaurant in town, which is called as Ikka, which is again in top 100 restaurants of the world for 2 consecutive years. So yes, Chef Niyati is part of Sbooch as well. She's a partner and I am a partner in Ikka as well.
She's a flavor curator?
Yes, and that's the reason we have have able to manage these amazing flavors in a bottle which people have never heard of, before. She's a brain and she's a mind behind the flavors. Hence, one fine day, I was also discovered and got to my notice that there is a term called kombucha a couple of years back. I have few service industries and brands under my umbrella. I was looking out for a product where I was at ICCA. Niyati only introduced me with kombucha in our 20-course meal. And I said, what is it? And she said, it's one of the oldest drink in the history of mankind, which goes back like 5,000 years ago. Yeah. And I was not even aware about it. So that's when I was introduced to kombucha. I thought there is some interesting, I would say there is some interesting potential to grow across. And why that's one of the reasons why if someone wants to come up with, every entrepreneur or every founder feels that they have an amazing product. The reason why I got into kombucha was, if you want to enter in India, which is one of the largest consumer country in the world, you may enter into a crowded space with a better, I would say, an economical option by providing a added value to that product, or you come up with a niche product which people have not seen it before. Now imagine a product in the world's one of the largest consumer country in the world have never heard of. And that's where kombucha comes, because as I mentioned to you earlier, most of the population of India has not even heard about it, forget drinking. So it's a challenge, but at the same time, it's a potential to grow for a brand and a product which is a very good blend of taste, but at the same time health. Taste was missing, wherein Sbooch has filled in just with the taste.
Which brings me to my next question. Why now, Nirraj? What is exciting you, or what is making you so optimistic about kombucha in Indian market? Like you mentioned, 99% of Indians haven't even heard of kombucha. Kombucha is something that originated 5,000 years ago in China, then it became popular in the West, in the US. What is the market size and the opportunity size for kombucha in India?
Great. So yes, kombucha was born in Japan and China. The name kombucha was behind the name of a Japanese person called Kombu. But having said that, why now? I would like to ask you a question, Ankita, before I answer that question. Without using marketing jargons, while you're traveling, or you're at supermarket, with your friends, with your family, tell me one beverage which you want to pick up from the shelf, which has zero artificial flavors, colors, additives, or preservatives, and not loaded with sugar, except water. If you can name,
I was just going to say, perhaps a bottle of water.
That's one of the reasons in 1.6 trillion beverage landscape across the world, we are not able to name even one beverage from the shelf which is not adulterated. That's the reason why kombucha. From a 5-year-old toddler to a 95-year-old seniors can have it guilt-free. They can add it in their lifestyle from morning, evening, any time of the day. And guess what? It's a gut-friendly drink. It aids and works like a natural antioxidant and immunity booster. That's the beauty of this drink. And do you know, by the way, what is kombucha?
It's a fermented drink, right?
Like we ferment barley to get beer. Similarly, when we ferment tea, which is chai, we get kombucha. That's how simple it is. That's why in East, especially in Japan and China, people consume it on the daily basis. I mean, they make it like what we make chas or buttermilk in India. They have it kombucha at their home. Having said that, in a retail segment, it's one of the largest consumer country is North America, which is US and Canada.
Right. But throw in some numbers. What's the opportunity size? What's the market size for kombucha in India?
Kombucha landscape, Ankita, is a $3 billion market already globally. And 55 to 60% is across North America, which is US and Canada. Having said that, it's the drink from the East, but the West has covered the major retail market. And India is a growing market, of course, for kombucha, because it is expected globally to grow at around 15 to 16% CAGR. In India, it's expected to grow at 20%, where the potential lies. And we as Indians have become more conscious about what we consume especially post-COVID. And tell me, before COVID, have you ever picked up any product to see any labels? Have you seen, except medicines for the expiry date, I don't remember I have seen any labels or ingredients any time before. Now, I'm sure you pick up any product, you would see what content of sugar is there, what content
Absolutely.
of palm oil is there. And now with Food Farmers and Revant of the world,
course.
who has created some buzz across, and in a positive way, where people have got informed and educated about what they are consuming on a daily basis. So that's where the potential in India lies now, and where we are moving towards from coffee culture, hopefully, to a kombucha culture in time to come.
Absolutely, here's hoping for that. But an interesting point, kombucha started out, originated in the East, China and Japan, and then it moved to the West, where it got popular in the US, but that was marketed differently. It was marketed as an alternative to beer in bars and restaurants, and that's how it became really popular.
True.
But in India now, you're marketing it as a healthy lifestyle drink, right? How is that going to work for you?
So yes, ideally kombucha, even if you ask me, I'm not positioning Sbooch as a health or a medicated drink, because I'll tell you the question which I asked you some time back. There is a huge gap in the beverage landscape, where there is no beverage currently which we are proud to say which is completely unadulterated or not loaded with sugar. And if you want to consume it on a daily basis, it becomes difficult. And the major gap what kombucha currently has is the taste. Most of the kombuchas across, not just in India, but across the globe, don't taste good. They doesn't taste well, because of which we thought of coming up with Sbooch, which flavors can be something which can be a major turnaround for people to start consuming it. Second, most of the kombuchas available has some of the other artificial colorings or additives. Of course, preservatives cannot be added. Otherwise, it cannot be called kombucha, to be honest. It's a naturally fermented fizzy drink. Hence, we are proud to say that when I say about these flavors, when I say about these flavors, you have never heard of these flavors in a bottle before, Ankita. We have 6 different unique flavors. Where it's Rasam of Tamil Nadu, we have Koshimbir of Maharashtra.
You've localized it.
Yes, and we have connected with the palates of Indians. That's where, as I'm proud to say that these are not usual flavors which you would have heard it in a bottle.
For sure.
And that's what we are proud of. When I say tulsi and lemon, we are putting real tulsi leaves and lemon from fermentation to brewing to bottling. Nothing artificial. That's what makes it unique. And that's what we feel, that the potential of growing Sbooch has, we are trying to come up with initial mover advantage, where we want to become maybe a Bisleri or a Maggie in our category in time to come.
Wow, interesting. Those are lofty targets. But Nirraj, you mentioned something to me, and I want to take a leaf from there. You asked me a question that, whenever you're traveling, what is that one drink where there's no preservatives or, you would want to have because it's just healthy, and besides water, you can't think of anything else. That brings me to my next question of distribution. So now you need to build distribution and accessibility, because if I'm traveling, then I need to have access to Sbooch, right? So in order to build distribution, as of now, what is your target? Is it to build distribution, to expand, or would you be looking at profitability now?
Interesting. So the most important thing, as you rightly pointed out, Ankita, is it to be available where people are not. And before that, I'll just take a step back. Even before the distribution, the awareness, which kombucha doesn't have yet. That's where Sbooch is in line with. We want to make sure that currently we do create awareness, not just for Sbooch, but across kombucha at large, its landscape, because there are many other players like us who are trying to penetrate the market. This is where I'm positive that we are creating some difference. We are trying to come up with some content. We are trying to come up with some ideas, some strategy in positioning and branding for Sbooch, which can be relatable to all the consumers and drinkers. That's what we are trying to bring in. Coming to your question on distribution, post we have created the awareness, we are proud to say in less than 6 months, We are Pan India Nature's Basket, Food Square. We are Amazon, Flipkart. Having said that, just a week back, we are on Blinkit. We are looking forward for Zipto and Swiggy Insta as well shortly. And we are across few hotels, restaurants, cafes, and some of the big names popping across. So that's something which we are proud to say that wherever we have reached out, the benefit to the Sbooch at large, what we have received is because of the taste and the quality, the acceptance is over 99%. We don't have to convince anyone that this is something unique. And when you try it, you will understand the significance of it. Because whatever I say or whatever my partners say, until and unless people consume it, they'll not understand the significance of it. Another and also apart from this e-commerce and quick commerce, we are also available from our website, which is Pan India Delivery. So anyone can order from our website and they will get delivered across India as of now. And we are planning to start our exports as well soon, hopefully. So that's something the distribution is concerned.
Okay, but Nirraj, talk to us about your fundraising plans. Are you planning to raise funds, and what are going to be expansion plans?
Okay. Yes, we are definitely, Ankita, raising funds. We already raised one round before the launch. Positively, we are almost on the verge of closing one. We are in discussion with few. There are significantly positive and known good names across the industry in business and corporate who are backing the vision and the growth for this brand. And I'm positive we are looking to close the current round in maximum a month or two, hopefully. And yes, so once we close this round, the interesting part is we are moving from, currently we are in 275 ml packaging, which is in a glass bottle. Post this round, we are looking to move into cans or a smaller size packaging as well, around 200 ml, which will make it even more convenient. The reason why I'm highlighting this is currently it's priced at around 220 rupees, which is maybe a little bit on a premium side, but then it'll be on a mass premium where it'll be anywhere around 150 odd. So that will gain more access and penetrate the market better.
So Nirraj, you mentioned the price point, right? It's slightly on the premium side, but you also mentioned that you're hoping that someday Sbooch becomes the next Maggie, which means it becomes synonymous with a health drink, right? Yes. With that kind of price point, how do you build mass acceptance?
Absolutely. Simple example, iPhone. When it came, people, or Starbucks, for example, when it came in when it penetrated the market, it was premium, it was affluential. Now, even if won't be surprised, even my auto driver, if I'm going from a taxi driver, has an iPhone. That's where the value comes. And I'll be very honest, it is a premium drink. When I ask you that we are putting real ingredients, we are sourcing Naga pepper from Nagaland, we are sourcing natural ingredients. The reason why I'm saying that we have a first mover advantage is primarily because of the product at large. Most of the kombucha players currently has a shelf life not more than 6 to 7 months. We have up to 18 months. Most of the kombucha players requires cold storage or refrigeration. We have taken care of that. It's an ambient product. It stays up to 18 months in a room temperature. Of course, we recommend it to Sbooch it chilled because that's how it tastes great. But that's the beauty. And one product, if they want to scale it to a national level or even international, it needs to have the qualities which it can grow or can be available, as you mentioned about, from distribution or making sure the shelf life is there. That's where Sbooch is having an edge. And we are proud to say that we are looking to have or create that buzz and make it available for everyone and create some new culture. That's where our tagline comes, the new culture.
Right. Nirraj, talk to us about the competition. Now, we already have a couple of kombucha brands. We have Atmosphere, Culture, Toyo, and so on. But, this kombucha market is fairly at a nascent stage. It's fairly new to Indian consumers. So it's safe to say that it's an early mover's advantage that you have here in the kombucha market. How have you leveraged that in capturing the market share and the share of wallet? How has that been an advantage for you?
So we are a fairly young baby, I would say, Ankita, coming to your question, because yes, Sbooch has a very fresh entrant. It's been just 6 months, but proud to say that in 6 months we have created some huge buzz buzz, not just across India, but across the world as well. And it has been witnessed with the award, the London Beer Award, which has been acclaimed across. We've been getting reached out from many countries outside, and we also want to make sure that we leverage this. Having said that, yes, there are many good players who are having or trying to create the footprints in last few years. They are doing great job, and I'm positive that Sbooch is also going to add in that journey to create some buzz, and we all have our own space to grow, and we'll make sure that the USP what we are coming up with, our unique selling proposition which we are confident of, we will definitely make it to become the national level player soon. We have been part of few significant events from Global Business Summit to some of the fest to events, and we are trying to create that noise and buzz across. People would love to have kombucha in their daily lifestyle soon.
Right. So Nirraj, tell us what about your product mix? Are there any new flavors on the anvil? You have already come out with very interesting flavors that talk of the different states of India. What are the new flavors? And you also mentioned that you would be exporting very soon. So would you be exporting the same Indian flavors to the West?
Interesting question. So yes, we are coming up with few new flavors, and I'm sure that people are going to get amazed, and they are going to be happily amazed to see that these kind of flavors are again added into kombucha. So I would refrain myself for sharing the flavors right now. Let's have some surprise factor for everyone. But yes, we are moving to we are planning to export soon as well. Of course, the license and certificates are in process, and we are moving with the better packaging. We are coming up with some new innovation. We are also trying to reach out to other parts of the world, most important US, where the taste is something which is lacking. And coming to your question on the flavors which will be coming up with, same or new, we'll definitely address some new flavors based on where we are targeting to penetrate. So there is something, some excitement and some suspense coming down the way soon.
Great. Finally, Nirraj, what have been your biggest learnings and your biggest challenges as a startup founder?
We all, when we start a journey, has tons of challenges. The most important is to manage the cost-friendly or the cost-effective manner with providing or achieving the best quality. That's one of the biggest question or biggest dilemma every founder goes through, because everyone wants the best, but the most important thing is whether they can afford it. So, and the second most important thing which I feel at this stage is, whenever especially someone is entering into a product or a product market or a product business, the most important thing is the product in itself. I'm proud to see that we took almost a year and a half to build a product with all the trials, with all the possible things, trying new flavors, making it available for people to consume, take their feedback. And now I'm positive that just in 6 months, we have made some huge progress. We have made some positively. It's not just me saying it. I'm happy to say that the world is also proving us in that direction, that we have made some significant difference in the beverage landscape positively. The journey is more important, to make sure that your screws are tightened up, especially at a base level. Once you have your product in place, you don't have to sell it. It automatically gets accepted. So that's something which we focused on initially. We came up with something which is, there was a gap in the kombucha landscape. One was taste, one was managing the distribution, which we wanted to make sure it's cost effective. If I would have come up with something which requires cold storage or refrigeration, this wouldn't have been possible. So similarly, every business has its own, doing a proper research, coming up with a better understanding before entering will help every founder to make it more successful.
All right, Nirraj, thank you so much for that insightful conversation. Thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us in ET Now Hangouts, and all the best to you with Sbooch.
Thank you, Ankita, and I look forward you Sbooch it soon as well, and make sure you give your candid feedback and love and share the love with everyone.